the Citizens Climate Lobby. We saw that awesome interview Vonnie had this morning. Yeah, make sure you check out what we have on there. We have some, we have a few incentives there. We have a camel tree incentive, TMNT4, the gameplay style, pretty cool, and we have a Beatmania one. That's a song request. You go there, we have a list in there, you just copy it out and paste it, look through all the songs on there, and then $5, donate it, pick a song, and Spark will be playing that in a little bit later tonight, I believe. But yeah, thanks for everything so far, keep it coming, and we'll be right up here with some Bayou Billy.
Okay, we are live, people. Hello everyone, my name is JKL0ser and I will be speedrunning. It says Mad City, but this is the Japanese version of Adventure of Bayou Billy, which is a little bit easier, a little bit shorter, a little bit more fun in my opinion. So I hope you will enjoy it. As you see, I put on the translation for the game, which just because like we might want to do bad ending at the end or good ending, we will see. And yeah, I will start to run right away because we're a little bit behind schedule here, and we will go in 3, 2, wait, I'm starting my own time so I don't have to count down, so let's just go right away because timing doesn't start until we have moved a little bit here. So timer start now. So this is a Konami game, which was a very ambitious NES game because it's one of those games that has multiple game engines. Like you have this beat 'em up stage, you have a shooter stage. We're gonna go for a despawn here early on. We wait here for that alligator to go between there, because then we get 2 hawks spawning here. And hopefully we get the despawn. We did not get the despawn. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it's completely okay because it's not that much slower to actually not get the despawn because we get an early stick here. And the stick does a little bit more damage. Well, we lost stick and it's completely fine. So I'm a little bit confused here because I do not remember 3 enemies there, but that's probably because I usually get the despawn. We will grab the meat to get some extra health here, and we will use stick to kill. Here we will do a despawn by walking up there, which you might not have noticed, but usually there spawns 3 people there. So this game is a lot about despawns. Right here, this is completely random when these people spawn, but it's a big reset point, and that's actually an amazing spawn. And we get a bulletproof vest here. We will turn on the gun. The gun is amazing because everything dies in one shot. Well, most things dies in one shot here. Again, we need to wait for him to spawn, and he did spawn. We will just go over here, turn around and shoot. And we are just done with the first stage. So while we're just jumping through the water here because jumping is faster, and just to explain the controls in the beat 'em up stages here, with B you punch and with A you kick, but pressing both will do a jump kick. And the jump kick is the strongest normal attack you have. So that's what we mostly use when we don't have a weapon, but we have the stick right now, and the stick is really strong. so we will use it mostly throughout the game. We will pick up another weapon later. Not because it's necessarily faster, but it's just a little bit more consistent on the stage 8. But yeah, this is the shooting stage. If you like, one of the things that are a little bit worse in the Japanese version is that the game doesn't read your inputs every single frame. So usually you wanna just shoot one shot when you kill stuff here, but because like you don't always shoot when you press the shoot button, it ends up with you just killing more enemies or shooting more shots. But you see, I have 186 shots, but when I shoot enemies, I don't actually lose bullets. Basically, what your bullets is how many times you're allowed to miss an enemy with a shot. So currently I'm allowed to miss the enemies a lot. So we're not in a big trouble here, but I do want to waste a little bit of shots because they do count down at the end of the stage. So we're just gonna shoot a lot here. I usually like to have like around 50 shots for the boss. So let's go 52 because of marathon safety. And this boss is a little bit random. That's a bad pattern. We want the helicopter to stay on screen all the time, but sometimes it's just do not do that. And we shoot, and we want to waste a few shots. 6 shots is fine. But yeah, for people that have played Adventure of Bayou, like they know this game is really hard, but the Japanese version is actually quite easy. Hint hint, for I know there's a Nescatlon coming up. You might want to put in the Japanese version, just saying. This is the first like beat 'em up boss, and that's not supposed to happen. Ooh. Oh, I accidentally lost my my stick here. This is a little bit scary, but it should be okay. Yeah, let's pick up the vest. And yeah, the first stage is a lot shorter in the Japanese version. In the US version, you actually play a whole stage before that boss, which is super annoying. And the racing stages are actually completely different in the Japanese version. In the US version, you actually do not have a health bar, and the road is much smaller, and you die in one hit. So in the US version, like there's like 2 runs on the leaderboard that actually has a deathless run because it's so hard to get through this stage. But in the Japanese version, it's more like forgiving. And this is the final boss that is driving this car, Mr. Gordon. And the story of this game, maybe someone will correct me here, but I believe the story is that that you blow up Gordon's like casino or something because of reasons. And because of that, Gordon kidnaps your sweetheart, Annabelle. And that's basically the whole story. But yeah, I really think this is a really amazing game. Like, I think it's super fun. It has a lot of different play styles to offer. It has despawns, it has speed tech. Like, it's a super fun game to speedrun in my opinion, especially the Japanese version, because it's much easier. You can get runs going near world record pace. I'm also gonna just out myself here. Like, I remember I submitted this like with either this or Adventure by Billy, and the estimate was 15 minutes for the Japanese version. And my PB is in sub 15. But I was also, when I saw it, it was 50 minutes, I was like, okay, we're gonna be a few seconds to maybe a minute overestimate. So let's not stress RGL out with fixing this schedule, because we will make up that time on later runs this marathon. So like whatever we're behind here, we will just make up on other games. But yeah, I would say most people that played the US version growing up probably got through the racing stages, I would say, but probably died on the next stage, which is like the really hard one. But when you speedrun this game, that stage is actually, well, it's still the hardest stage, the most important stage, but it's not hard in the way that you might die or something. Also, while we're just driving here, enjoying the streets, just want to say thank you to Desert Eagle here, because, oh, maybe I will take that back, because I don't know if I will beat the stage. Okay, we will beat it. Yeah, well, just one special thanks to Desert Eagle that took his run before mine, so I could have some nice walking home. Yeah, the countdown is very weird. Also, hopefully no one paid attention to the speed. So here we will try to do despawn, and you just wiggle up and down and you can despawn enemies. Like that. And also I'm used to having the stick here, but it's okay. So this is the street stage, and if we had the stick we could kill these in 4 hits instead, but now we gotta do 5 hits. We will pick up the meat, and usually I would not go for the whip here. You can actually despawn these as well, but it's really hard. The whip is really good, but it's also really weak. Like you can see, like these guys dies in 3 hits with the stick, but we don't have the stick, so we will use the whip just to play it a little bit safe. Here we are gonna go for some despawns again. They do not always work, but I've started to become really consistent at them. Here I will actually try and get the stick. And we managed to get a good time there. We will try and despawn these as well. Okay, really good despawns, I would say. Like the stick saves so much time. Here, it's not that important to get this despawn. If we do, it's good, and we did. We're in a little bit of danger here, but we should be fine. Like the damage you take is a little bit RNG heavy. So I'm actually gonna pick up the whip early here, just to play it safe. And we're through the street stage. The street stage is also much shorter in this version. And we're coming up to the second shooting stage. And for people that didn't know, there's actually 3 loops of this game that you can play. And the loops gets harder and harder. And if you play the American version, as I've said before, like, you know, like, the first loop is really hard in that game. Like, it might be one of the hardest games on the NES games that, like, if we're talking about that is good and like fair. But on the third loop in the US version, this level is basically unbeatable without the zapper. Like you can beat it with zapper. The world record holder actually has a run where he does beat the game with without the zapper. Oh, I did not see that guy. And the reason why this stage is so hard to beat without zapper is because of the boss. Because the boss in this stage is a two-man boss. So one has a machine gun that will hit you no matter what. So you need to kill him first. And then there's a guy that throws knives. And like, you can only kill the also, we have West now, we can't take damage. But yeah, the other guys throws knives that you can shoot. But you're not allowed to miss a single knife in the third loop, in the American version. And that's why, like, that loop is so freaking hard. But the Japanese version is not as hard. It's still really hard to beat the third loop, but it's not impossible or anything. But by the way, I will let chat decide. Do you want the good ending, which is the regular Adventure by Billy ending, or do you want the bad ending where we actually run away from our girlfriend and our girlfriend gets sad? The bad ending is a little bit more fun, like I have fun, but the bad ending you will get me reading the... Oh, we did not get the gun. We will wait. We got that gun. Boom. Oh, I want one more gun. And I did check, so I have or do not have save states on, because usually I would notice it right here if I have save states on. And now we get the dogman. Do you know what? I'm gonna let him summon one dog, just so we can kill one dog. But you don't have to have him summon a dog. And now we're moving on to the final stage. Good ending, bad ending. We need a third final vote. We're coming up to the second to last boss here. We're gonna stand here. We're gonna kick him. And we wanna lose both our vest and whip here, because if we have any equipment going into the final boss here, these will be stronger. So the blue guy actually has less health than the red guy, so we kill the red guy first. Third vote. No, do not try that. Well, do you know what? I will do good ending, but I will show in this version you can run away from Annabelle. But we will take the hug, and that's time, and we will get some acting from me. Thank you, Billy. Are you alright? For a while, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew you would come. Just thinking of you is what got me this far. I'm never going to let you go. I can never let you experience something like this again. I don't want to ever be apart from you again. I love you, Annabelle. Oh, Billy. Moosh. And that's Mad City or Adventure of Bayou Billy, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed this game. I hope that more people play Adventure of Bayou Billy or try out the Mad City. It's a really fun game. I recommend the speedrun. And yeah, continue watching. And there will be a lot more good games coming up. I will be back tomorrow morning. I'm actually heading to bed now, so I can get up 5 in the morning to do my next run. Well, 5 in the morning for me, but not for Americans. But yeah, take care everyone. Have a beautiful evening, morning, afternoon, and have a fun marathon. Bye bye people.